For the past 18 years, I've been privileged to have a regular Sunday cartoon in our local newspaper. Every week I have to have something. It forces me to be funny. COVID-19 has changed our lives. This year, most of my cartoons were COVID-19 related. It's kind of a timeline of disaster. A few of us saw the danger as it approached, however, none of us could realize its enormity. On January 20th, it was confirmed person-to-person transfer was possible. I thought it might be a good idea to buy masks for the practice. I went to drugstores and Walmart, and they were sold out, gone, nowhere. Now I was worried. Everyone reassured us the risk is low. Still, I decided it was time for my first coronavirus cartoon. Actually, the biggest topic of conversation at the time was the Department of Motor Vehicles. We were all supposed to get a special identification which would let us fly in airplanes without a lot of hassle. The lines were ridiculous. You could literally spend all day at the DMV and still fail to get a special ID card. So maybe COVID could be our friend here. When faced with bad news, humans tend to respond with denial. As February rolled around, everyone said, "It's just the flu, get a flu shot, and don't worry, flu is worse, way worse." The face mask shortage was becoming a real problem. How could we improvise? Before Dr. Fauci became a household name, I decided to create a generic spokesman. He did accidentally sort of resemble the CDC director, Robert Redfield. Thank you for coming to this COVID-19 update. After much consideration, we are now advising an orderly, full-scale panic. Thank you very much. And no joke was too old to drag out for the pandemic. Meanwhile, the CDC continued to fumble. The country was now freaking out, and toilet paper became a hot commodity. As March continued, elderly people with chronic illnesses locked themselves up in their home. No one dared enter a doctor's office. The hospital started adding disaster beds. How do we protect ourselves? How do we protect our patients? A practice is a business with employees and expenses. Our older staff decided this was the time to retire. We wished them all farewell with an outside, distanced picnic. For the first time, we wondered if our practice could survive. Televisits arrived. They weren't perfect, but it allowed us to take care of patients, including those with COVID. Meanwhile, families were isolating at home. For many, it was not going well. A new coronavirus symptom was reported. Many patients lost their sense of taste and smell. Going to the grocery store became a source of anxiety for everyone. We all started wearing masks as part of our routine. How amazing that such a thing could become normal. As the month came to a close, a general despair swept over the medical community. In May, hospitals breathed a sigh of relief. They would not be overwhelmed. Patients started seeing their doctor again. When can we open up? What's the first thing we're going to do? Get a haircut, of course. Even opening up was still not so great. The risk felt high, the benefits seemed so incrementally minimal. We felt a sense of sadness. Meanwhile, the revolts against masks and the lockdown soon boiled over. Was COVID-19 real, or was it a plot to overthrow the president? Why is Bill Gates so interested in vaccines? It all makes you wonder. We don't need no stupid masks or social distancing. We are free to choose. We're America. Several months ago, my son predicted a form of PTSD would result from our current crisis. I recently watched a movie on Netflix and was surprised to find my anxiety rising as a large group all hugged each other in what was supposed to be a warm conclusion. We'll be lucky if any of us emerge from this normal. Many are starting to understand that the 19 in COVID-19 is how many pounds you gain in isolation. Are masks dangerous? People are looking for any reason to not wear a mask. The news has just been so bad. A problem appeared in the office. Spouses were fighting over the lack of social distancing by the other partner. It actually got quite ugly. Sometimes going outside, I felt vaguely naked. Yes, masks are now part of our lives. Even in non-COVID cartoons, the mask is always present. I keep thinking this is the last possible cartoon I can write on the topic. I mean, how many jokes can there be for a pandemic, yet somehow another one hits my brain? Sometimes patients inadvertently are the inspiration. This has been a rough year. I hope others can find enjoyment and escape with an occasional laugh. By the way, when I did the original medical school reunion promotional video, I made it so that the guy doing the talking had a mask on. I didn't like it. Anyway, he was walking down an empty work area. He didn't need a mask, so I got rid of it.